The sun rises over a continent that feels familiar, but also alien. This is Australia, 50,000 years ago. A land before metal, before cities, before written language. Yet the landscape is far from empty. It is ruled by giants. From high above the golden plains, huge shapes move through the morning haze. Diprotodon, the largest marsupial that ever lived, each one the size of a rhinoceros, a living tank of bone, muscle, and shaggy fur. They lumber toward a shrinking waterhole, grinding leaves between powerful jaws. But today, they are not alone. On a rocky rise, hidden by low scrub, a small band of humans is watching. They are among the first people ever to set foot on this continent, descendants of migrants who crossed from Asia generations earlier. Their language is lost to time, but their needs are the same as ours: food, water, safety, and a future for their children. They hold long wooden spears tipped with stone. Their bodies are lean from constant movement, their skin dusted by soot and sun. They have no metal, no wheels, no written plans. But they carry something this land has never seen before: minds that can imagine hunts that have not yet happened. The air is already warm. The smell of the waterhole drifts on the breeze. Mud, dung, and the musky scent of giants. The Diprotodon herd shuffles down the bank. Calves press close to their mothers. They know the waterhole gives life, but also danger. They are right. Across the water, hidden beneath low branches, another predator waits. Compact, powerful, built for ambush. Its jaws hold crushing blades of bone, designed to shear through flesh. This is Thylacoleo, the marsupial lion, the top predator of ancient Australia. For hundreds of thousands of years, Diprotodon and Thylacoleo have played the same deadly game. But today, a new player has entered the field: humans. The hunters study the herd. They do not rush. A direct attack would be suicide. Even a wounded Diprotodon could crush them with a single kick. Instead, they look for weakness: an older female, a nervous calf, a path where deep mud might slow a fleeing giant. The leader gives a small gesture. The group splits. Two descend toward the water, hiding in reeds. The others swing wide, keeping downwind. The Diprotodon begin to drink. Their ears twitch, their tails swish lazily. They sense danger, but cannot see it. Under the branches, Thylacoleo tenses. It has tracked this herd for hours. It sees only its ancient prey. It doesn't yet realize that a new kind of hunter is here, one that cooperates, one that plans. A silent signal. One of the humans near the reeds rises into view and shouts. The sudden cry cuts across the waterhole. Birds explode from the trees. The herd startles. They bunch together, confused. Then the second group of humans appears, yelling, waving branches, throwing stones. To the Diprotodon, it seems as if predators have materialized out of thin air. Panic surges. They turn to run, but the mud is deep. The slope is narrow. The humans chose this spot for a reason. A half-grown Diprotodon calf stumbles. Its leg breaks through a crust of dried mud.
With a heavy crash, it falls onto its side. The herd surges past it, abandoning the fallen juvenile. The humans rush in, staying clear of its flailing limbs. Their attack is coordinated. One distracts. Another drives a spear behind the shoulder. Their weapons are small, but deadly in the right hands. Across the water, Philiokylo watches. Instinct tells it to seize the wounded giant. But something is wrong. These upright creatures are unlike anything it has ever seen. They move with purpose. They fight together. Their spears reach farther than its claws. For the first time in its history, the marsupial lion hesitates. By midday, the hunt is over. The calf lies still. The humans begin the long work of butchering. Meat is sliced into strips, bones set aside for tools, fat rendered, nothing wasted. In this world, waste is dangerous. Smoke rises from a nearby hillside. Another group of humans tends a slow, controlled fire. The burn is deliberate, carefully guided through dry grass. The flames look wild, but they are not. This is fire as technology. By clearing old growth, the burn will spark new shoots within weeks. Herbivores will return to feed. Without knowing it, humans have begun reshaping the continent. As the sun climbs higher, the heat intensifies. The land stretches out, woodland, scrub, and open plains. Kangaroos feed among the trees, some small, some gigantic. On the open plain, Procoptodon, short-faced giant kangaroos browse on salty shrubs. More than 2 meters tall, thick-bodied, standing upright like sentinels. They grasp branches with broad hands and hop on a single massive toe. A family of humans watches them quietly.
Children learn by observing. They study plants, tracks, animal behavior. Their true inheritance is knowledge, passed down through stories and experience. The adults point out clues, how the kangaroo's ears twist, always listening, the pattern of its dung, the tracks of a large monitor lizard crossing the dust. Somewhere in the scrub, enormous reptiles, relatives of Megalania, still stalk the land. On a distant rise, another giant roams. Geniornis, the thunderbird, almost 2 meters tall, heavy-bodied, flightless. It plucks fruit and leaves with a powerful beak. A different group of humans moves toward low dunes. They are not hunting the birds, but their eggs. Thunderbird eggs are rich and valuable, but taking too many means the next generation will never hatch. Hunger, however, does not think in long timelines. The nest sits in the sand. The humans take several eggs, leaving one behind. A compromise between survival today and the survival of the species. At sunset, the camp glows with firelight. Meat roasts, eggs cook in hot ash. On the edge of the firelight, eyes shine in the dark. Not dingoes, they won't arrive for thousands of years. Instead, marsupial carnivores and giant reptiles watch from the shadows. The humans are not dominant, not yet. They are simply one species among many. But the balance is beginning to shift.
As the dry season deepens, water becomes precious. Lakes shrink into muddy basins. Water holes draw every thirsty creature for kilometers around. At one such lake, a dramatic confrontation begins. From above, the lake looks like a giant footprint pressed into the earth. A shallow bowl of mud and water, ringed by trampled ground. Diprotodon herds approach. Giant kangaroos, emus, thunderbirds, all drawn to the last reliable water. Humans arrive as well, and they come with a strategy. This time, several bands have joined forces. Younger hunters ignite dry grass along the downwind edge. Fire spreads in a controlled line. Smoke thickens. The herds grow restless. The humans form a wide arc, guiding the giants toward the soft, dangerous mud at the lake's edge. Smoke, noise, flame, movement. Panic erupts.
Diprotodon flee toward the water. The ground collapses beneath the weight of the first animals. They sink deep into the mud. Others pile behind them in a chaotic crush. The humans hold their formation, reinforcing the funnel. Here, where the mud traps the giants, humans have the advantage. Several Diprotodon are now hopelessly stuck. Others escape into the haze. The hunters let them go. There is already more than enough. The killing and butchering takes days. The people harvest meat, fat, hides, and bone. It is an extraordinary triumph of intelligence over sheer size. But it marks a turning point. Diprotodon breeds slowly, and the climate is shifting. Each loss hurts the species. The great herds begin to thin. Lightning storms spark wildfires across the region. The continent transforms in cycles of fire and rain. Amid this change, life continues. In a fertile valley, women dig for yams, children collect seeds, men set snares and fish in shallow water. They still hunt giants, but the giants appear less often. Over generations, the people notice the difference. The stories change. They say certain spirits, the ones inside the very large animals, are retreating from the world. From our distant viewpoint, we know this as extinction. Climate stress plays a major role, but the spread of a new intelligent predator accelerates the decline. Where humans go, megafauna vanish. Decades pass. An elderly woman walks along a familiar riverbank. In her youth, she saw Diprotodon here, huge, pale shapes among the trees. Now, only smaller animals remain. Yet the land is still rich. Giant goannas bask on sun-warmed rocks. Parrots erupt from flowering trees. Marsupials hop, climb, and burrow through the scrub. Humans are now woven deeply into this ecosystem, but the pattern around them has changed. Night falls over ancient Australia. Firelight flickers on a hillside. Human voices rise into the darkness. Somewhere beyond the trees, a lone Thylacoleo pads through the shadows, unaware that its species is nearing its end. Above, the stars blaze, the same stars we see today. 50,000 years ago, humans and giant megafauna shared this continent for a brief, extraordinary moment, a time of encounters, hunts, escapes, and transformation, a time when intelligence met gigantism and the balance tipped toward the clever newcomer. The giants would vanish. The people endured. And in their stories, and in ours, the memory of this lost world lives on.